All right, welcome in. It's our fancy new countdown here on SEC After Dark, a very special edition. As you can see, if you were watching SEC Network earlier in this evening, you know exactly why we're here. So welcome in. We are presented by DeadSoxy. Stephen Willis, Jake Thomas, Jeb Beecham is having a family fun time. So he is not here. He is here in costume. Mr. Commodore is in his stead. I'm Corey Burton as well. Like I said, we are presented by DeadSoxy. We're glad to be with you. So did you know, guys, Father's Day is almost upon us, and DeadSoxy is the perfect gift for any budget. Whether it's a gift or buying for yourself, DeadSoxy is excited to help you celebrate with style. Sign up for a DeadSoxy NIL membership and receive new styles every month, 2 months, 3 months, or even every 6 months. These socks are not only comfort on your feet, they give back. Over 50% of the proceeds are pumped back into Ole Miss athletics. Steve is modeling a pair right now, not wearing them on his feet though, but that's close enough. But over 50% of the proceeds are pumped back into Ole Miss athletics. If a sock subscription isn't your speed, ask for a Saturday 7-pack. What is that? Well, you get 7 unique designs to coordinate each of this upcoming season's 7 home football games. Again, these packs give back to Ole Miss athletics as well. Visit DeadSoxy.com. That's Dead, SOXY.com, and stock up on your favorite socks while supporting your beloved Rebels. It's a double win. You can also get 25% off on all non-licensed styles and free shipping on all orders with the promo code
After Dark.
After Dark. So happy Father's Day from DeadSoxy, as always. Stay soxy, my friends.
Yeah, and also, just so everybody knows, they have Alabama socks, they have Georgia socks, they have all of that. You can go there, check them out. Once you wear it, you'll never wear anything else because they are that good. Anyway.
That's quite the endorsement right there. But those are some sharp-looking socks you got, Steve.
Yeah, they
are. Those are Grove approved.
Yeah, those are lane train socks.
Even better.
Mm-hmm.
Even better. Well, as you can see from our note below, there you go. You can participate in the conversation by chatting with us. Super chat, super thanks are also appreciated. You can find us there. The chat thread is already going, and we got picks. We got picks, dude.
Yeah.
It's picks. So, it's going to be exciting, man. So let's talk about some recruiting. No, I'm just kidding. Let's talk about this 2024 schedule release, man. Already some great games on the docket, right? Georgia is traveling to Texas. What more Georgia has road games against Texas and Alabama. Too bad those aren't home games for the season ticket holders, but they're traveling to Ole Miss. Those are some really good games. I'm going to say this, and this may be an unpopular opinion. I'm done with neutral site games. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
I think Georgia, Florida, just move it to campus at this point. I think they should.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not the most popular of opinions, but it's time, guys. It's time because that's always a marquee matchup. No matter how bad Florida is, no matter how bad Georgia is, it's always a great rivalry. It's time to have it home and home. It's time for the Swamp to host and for Florida to come between the hedges. I think it's time.
Yeah, and you look at it, the SEC is adding neutral site games recently. Florida and Georgia used to be the standard bearer for the conference, but now you have Texas A&M and Arkansas, and Texas and Oklahoma is coming in. The last 2 expansions has seen neutral site games expand to the next level, and it is pretty interesting to me, honestly, what's going on with it. Now, my first impression from the schedule release is Mississippi State needs to profusely apologize to whoever they pissed off in the SEC office. I'm not seeing a more brutal schedule than Mississippi had this time around. It's absolutely nuts. And also Ole Miss had if you replace South Carolina with Vanderbilt, they got their best case scenario. You only need maybe 9 wins to get to a college football playoff berth. You can do that with that schedule.
Yeah, I agree. And me and Stacey had a little live before we come on, and that's what we talked about. You know, even though we get rid of divisions and you go to the top 2 teams are going to be playing each other, still the 3rd and 4th teams could probably still make it in the college football playoff the way it's set up, going to a 12-team playoff. So even if you don't get to play for the championship, you still might be able to play for the national championship.
Yeah, I mean, 12-team playoff makes that possible. But I mean, good Lord, look at. I mean, for those of you that don't know exactly or didn't memorize what Mississippi State's schedule was, this is why we're saying that.
Sure.
You get Texas, Tennessee, Georgia, Ole Miss,
On
Florida. Florida's not going to be down for long, and Texas A&M and Arkansas. Arkansas is your Missouri is probably your reprieve game, and that's not necessarily an easy game. That's yeah. Okay. Off and running. Bama, LSU, Oklahoma, and Tennessee on the road. That's not an easy road slate there, but they get some reprieve against Missouri. They get some reprieve, obviously, with Vanderbilt, but Auburn, Georgia, and South Carolina at home, which South Carolina, we're going to talk about them later on in the summer. They're one of the top storylines of, can they keep this momentum going? Can they keep Spencer Rattler consistent?
One thing that I am interested in is, we got Jake on here, and this is interesting because everybody always talks about for 30 years how the SEC was just doing things differently, and they were always trying to help Alabama. It was always going to help Alabama. If you look at Alabama's schedule, good grief. Other than that Mississippi State slate, nobody did Alabama any favors in the schedule release.
No, I mean, that's a tough road matchup, those 4, LSU, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. Now, Vandy, I mean, if they have 50,000 people at that stadium, 49,000 was going to be Alabama fans, maybe more than that. But other than that, the home games, you got Georgia, but the home games are a little bit more manageable with Missouri. And I wouldn't really say South Carolina either, but I don't think they're at the Alabama standard just yet. So I think they'll be, the home schedule does a lot easier than the road schedule for sure.
Yeah, if you look at their road schedule, the at LSU, at Oklahoma, at Tennessee, I mean, it's what we talked about on the Locked On live stream earlier. Is like 2-1 for that would almost be a win for Alabama.
Yeah, and don't forget, Alabama opens up the 2024 season at Wisconsin. So, they got some tough road games this next season. Not this season, but the next season.
Yeah, Georgia opens with Clemson in 2024. So
yeah,
and we close with Georgia Tech. So and Georgia Tech is looking to be much improved under Brent Key. I mean, I watched their spring game because Buster's the offensive coordinator, so I want to see. They're going to score a bunch of points. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop anybody ever, but they're going to score a bunch of points.
Yeah,
and that's not an easy game either. So you got 2 P5 games that sandwich that schedule, which I don't know how these dates are going to shake out. It could be a murderer's row with like Texas and Alabama road games back to back, sandwiched between like Mississippi State and Auburn. Who knows how that's going to happen? Texas might be the early September road game where it's like 1,000,000 degrees at DKR. So you don't know the dates of these games yet. Just the opponents and any way you shake that schedule out, any way you shake any of these schedules out is really, I mean, I guess LSU got the easiest of them, but I mean, with the doing away with divisions and the 2 new teams coming in, which Texas is improving, Oklahoma is improving somewhat. There is no easy games really. And when you mix it up and shake it all up, you're doing away with divisions. You don't have your Vandy and Missouri reprieves every year in the East, or your Mississippi State,
Right.
Arkansas reprieves every year in the West. Like, you don't have those games anymore. So you better put your big boy pants on. That's all I got to say.
I want to draw everybody's attention to the Florida Gators, and you don't have to put the graphic back up on this one, but they have a schedule where they play Georgia, they play LSU, they play Texas, and I think they play somebody else that's one of the major category, but they also have 3 non-conference games against Florida State, Central Florida, and Miami. It's a true state championship situation for the Florida Gators. I am calling 2024 the year that gets Billy Napier fired.
It might be this year, but yeah, you're right.
As if this past year wasn't enough, having a top 4 quarterback and only winning 6 games.
Don't
Yeah, please
don't say that out loud. I know you're no.
I have to, because it's just funnier when I say it out loud. It's
yeah.
Absolutely nuts.
I want to go back. We don't have to show the graphic, but the Mississippi State schedule next year. But we also talked about their schedule this year. I don't see how they're going to win four games this year. I definitely don't see how they're going to win 4 games next year. So they got a tough, mountain to climb here in the next couple of years.
Yeah, Michael Speck says, plus with the portal, who knows what rosters will look like. You're absolutely correct. What we're thinking, we're playing that fan thing of trying to stretch a line out, Michael, and you're absolutely right. It could look completely different, but who knows? Stacey Blackwood's come in to the show. I hope he likes the new look.
What's up, Stacey?
Hey.
Oh, he's got the avatar. Look at him.
Look at Stacey. Him and the missus in the avatar.
His better half for sure.
That's right. Yeah. So the portal brings a whole new element to it. I can't wait to see what the Big Ten schedule looks like. Also with USC and UCLA coming in, that'll be a lot of fun too.
That's already been released.
Has it?
Yeah, that was last week.
Oh,
I didn't.
Well, I mean, we are SEC after dark.
We're not Big Ten after dark. Sometimes we're ACC after dark, and we've been known to be MLS after dark. We're never Pac-12 after dark, and we occasionally will do a Big 12 team.
We're about to be Paramount Plus after dark. Just so
yes.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing, honestly, coming up after Friday, me and Bill Couch is going to come in and do a spoiler-filled review of the Flash movie, by the way.
Oh, man.
I thought you were about to say you and Bill Cower. I was like, good Lord, dude, you're reeling in some big fish.
Yeah. I've got the skills.
That's right.
Was he going to chase you down and stuff a Polaroid in your pocket like you did that referee?
Exactly.
Jake, you're too young for that one.
Yeah.
You don't know that reference.
I was looking at Michael's comment, but yeah, USC at Rutgers, that could get ugly real quick.
Mm-hmm.
For who?
For USC or for Rutgers, probably.
They better have charter planes, because I'd hate to know they had to fly like Southwest.
I hope that game is in November at night.
Oh man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's the fighting Tony Sopranos.
Yeah.
That's the new rivalry game. USC and Rutgers.
Could be.
Thanksgiving rivals right there.
All right, we're going to tell people in the chat, if you're watching the show, tell us which game from the schedule release has you most excited. If you put anything up that's good, we'll put it up where everybody can see it as well. Also, we take super chats and super thanks. If you want to do that, we'd appreciate it. That is eligible, but this is our new look, SEC After Dark. Also, comment on what you think about the new look. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. We're like I said, we're doing the new graphics. We're doing it in a little new, different way. It's kind of fun. But today we're reacting to the schedule release, and they're showing Alabama's again, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that is just brutal. By the way, Arkansas has a pretty good schedule.
Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't pay attention to Arkansas, so one more time. Here we go. Take a screenshot. Shift Command 3. Get you a screenshot of this if you're on a Mac. So Arkansas, LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Texas. That's a pretty brutal home slate, actually.
Yeah, but think about how awesome that is for season ticket holders.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great schedule for season ticket holders. You get to see some exciting games, exciting home conference games. But A&M loses a home game. Georgia loses a home game.
Going back to
Texas,
Arkansas,
Oklahoma loses a home game.
Oklahoma loses a home game. That's right.
Going back to Arkansas, I'm so glad they got Texas again because those have been some fun matchups the last couple of years to watch. So I'm glad that kind of rivalry is kind of getting back to where it was.
I'm excited. Obviously, Texas Georgia is a must-see game. The renewal of A&M and Texas. Stacey just took the words right out of my mouth. I think, Stacey, we need to say jinx because we said that at the same exact time. That popped up on the screen.
Yeah, Auburn got off relatively easy.
Yeah.
They get Missouri, Kentucky, and Vandy. Good
But
Lord.
the flip side of it, they have Peyton Thorne as a quarterback.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, those two of those 3 games aren't easy with what they got at quarterback.
What will be the travel budgets of SC and UCLA? And I have no idea, Michael Specs. That is the question.
Much improved.
I'm going to click on this one because I think this is funny because Chauncey wants to know, can Corey, Jake, and Jeb wear Juice Kissman socks during all podcasts? Those are available through DeadSoxy and through the Ole Miss NIL program. Maybe
Chauncey, you misspelled my name there, boss. There's an E in there. It would require me to require a wide shot of me putting my feet up on the desk. I don't know if the world's ready for that.
And I want to say, Chauncey, your profile pic does not all Alabama fans. As you can see, I have all my teeth.
Now you left out right now.
Right now, yeah. Give about 10 years, I might be toothless.
Yeah, Cauley, it's Georgia can no longer skate to the playoffs by beating up on the Little Sisters of the Poor anymore. But we were supposed to play Oklahoma, full disclosure, this year, but that game got canceled because they decided they wanted to join the conference.
Yeah.
And our schedule this year is an absolute joke. But
Ole Miss is the second hardest game for Georgia this season.
But see, Alabama and Texas kept their games. So I don't know why Georgia couldn't keep the Oklahoma game. I just didn't make any sense.
Because both of those games for Texas and Alabama are non-conference.
Yeah, that's true.
Only one of them would have been non-conference for Georgia, Oklahoma, and they couldn't agree on. They couldn't agree on the site because, it would have been absorbed as a conference game and not part of their non-conference budget. It's all money. That's all it is. It's all money. They couldn't agree on money. That's just the simple way of saying it.
Money rules everything, especially college football right now.
Speaking of which, I figured out how the SEC can make a 9-game conference schedule.
Okay.
They just add one.
Well, no, that's not the case. They want more money, and we've been trying to figure out how the SEC can make more money.
They start a GoFundMe.
Yeah. No, what they're going to do is ESPN is going to pay them for it and put one game exclusively on ESPN Plus.
Oh, good God.
ESPN Plus. So
that's the avenue for where money can be created, money can be made, but that's what I think will happen.
I mean, it's fine. Every time, well, there won't be the UT Martin, Missouri game anymore, but it doesn't bother me. Everybody has ESPN Plus now at this point.
Yeah, I mean, but that's where the extra money would come from. Cauley Hogg, it says, are the days of teams going 12-0 year after year over. Wait until this Georgia runs over.
Yeah, one more year probably.
Yeah, wait till 2024, and any team that's worth their weight in the playoff will not be 12-0. The 12-0 teams like TCU would have been probably. They weren't 12-0 though. They lost in the conference championship, so never mind. But like teams like that probably should have gone 12-0 won't make the run in the playoffs. So the 12-0 teams will get exposed, and the teams from the Big Ten just got a lot harder. SEC just got a lot harder. The proof's going to be in the pudding. Either one of those two conferences is going to win the national championship each and every year, and probably going to be the SEC for a long time.
Well, yeah, and what's absolutely funny is this is what people are going to be pissed off about. And that is, since there are no 12-0 teams, you're going to start having 9-3 teams and 10-2 teams win the national championship. And that is going to piss them off because they, for lack of a better word, got off on the fact that they could have a 12-0 team every year. And it was such an exclusive club. So I think you're going to see people genuinely upset about, hey, what is college sports becoming when there's a 9-3 national champion? I think the playoff is going to.
If they run through the playoffs, then yeah. How many Super Bowl champions have been like 10-6? Like the 2006 when the Giants won, they barely got in the playoffs.
Yeah, they did,
and they made a run. Like the Steelers in 2005 had to do everything on the road. They had to beat everybody on the road. They were a wild card team. They were like 9-7. Like how many of those teams in the NFL do it? Like it doesn't matter. Once you get in the playoff, all bets are off. Everybody's 0-0. It doesn't matter. If you come in as a 12 seed and you run the freaking gauntlet, hats off to you. Congratulations. It's your damn national championship.
And Michael Speck said, I thought ESPN said no more money for a 9th game. Didn't Disney lay off 7,000 employees? Yes, they did. That's the reason I think it'll be an ESPN Plus game, because that's the way they can actually recoup some of their money. It won't be as much money as the SEC's asking for, but it possibly will be something. I think that's an avenue that they might take.
So, Steve, since you're at Disney World all the time, see if you can get us that broadcasting spot. So we broadcast the 9th game every week on ESPN Plus.
My goodness, how awesome would that be if we were
broadcasting? They could save so much money. They could just pay us $200,000 each.
Yeah, we could do like a Manning cast type situation and broadcast it like just like this.
SEC After Dark presents.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Missouri versus Vandy on the SEC Plus.
Yeah, we need to clip that, by the way, so we can send that to your boy Mickey Mouse and let him. Hi, Stephen Willis, Corey Burton, and Jake Thomas. They're going to broadcast the game.
Yeah,
it's actually not a bad impression.
That isn't. Well, that's really good.
Corey, you impressed me, buddy.
Well, when your 7-year-old, you mean Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
Hey, I was in the Super Bowl and I got really good protection for my offensive line. Okay,
it's D. Frank here.
Hey, Pat Mahomes here. I just want to say that I want to thank my team and Andy Reid for giving me all the pass protection that I can handle, and Kadarius Toney for bailing me out.
Nice.
Yeah, so Huck watches a ton of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. So all I hear is Mickey, like when I'm in the house.
Yeah,
in the house of Mouse.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, I spent my birthday little over a week ago in Hollywood Studios. I'm going to go back to Hollywood Studios because right after I left, they opened up a pop-up at the park, Indiana Jones and the Den of Destiny, which has a bunch of like artifacts from the movie and all that. Not this movie, like Raiders of the Lost Ark and all that stuff as well. So I want to go back for that. But Becky, the voice of God, really wants to go to Magic Kingdom because she wants to eat at Liberty Tree Tavern.
I'll read some of these comments. That's good though. Am I an impression specialist? I could make some money being on the coattails of Frank Caliendo.
Oh man, that's good.
I love Frank Caliendo.
Of course, he can do anything.
He can do just about any. Yeah. Let me tell you something here, brother.
Let me tell you. His impression of Mel Kiper is spot on. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, it's John Madden's the best.
John Madden's really good too.
Just the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, John Madden. He does a really good Gruden, and he does a really good Barkley.
Yeah. No, terrible. TRBL. Terrible.
TRBL. Man, that's terrible, terrible, terrible. Steven, you a knucklehead.
Yeah.
Corey's like dusted off all his impressions for people today.
That's right.
It got me rolling. Got me started.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do have one question. Was the SEC trying to kill Mississippi State and Vanderbilt?
We already knew this when Vandy had no shot, honestly.
But Tennessee, Alabama, Texas, and LSU.
Yeah. Dang.
They're like Clark Lee. You still on a coach here?
Yeah.
It's like, what? Although Vandy has a winning record against the Texas Longhorns, and I want everybody to clip this because that is absolutely fact. Look it up. Vandy has a winning record all time against the Texas Longhorns.
Hell yeah.
And I think they're tied with Auburn.
I give
Too
you
bad they don't
fact.
have Florida on the schedule.
I give you a fun fact. Alabama is 0-2 versus Rice in their career.
Yeah, the
Crazy.
sideline. That was the sideline game, wasn't it? One
I
of
think
them.
so. Yeah, I think so. Crazy.
Look, Becky having to jump into the chat and talk about how awesome Michael Specs is because
Oh
he always
my
talks about
gosh.
picks.
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 He's
Picks are awesome.
giving Becky all of the props.
Yeah.
We are talking with a sponsor. We've had second round talks, nothing advanced about sponsoring the pick segment, and it's a major clothing brand.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So Under Armour, all right.
Not, I don't
Peter
wanna say,
Millar.
Yeah, no, it's special. I don't want to give away too much, but in case it comes to fruition. But yeah, our pick segment is kind of picking up steam a little bit,
Right.
and that's impressive. And judging by the views, we're probably up 50 or 60% in live stream views at a time.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's even going to go up next week because next week we forgot to do it. Start streaming to Tide Talk Live's channel as well.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get that in, but we did start streaming to Bleav In Georgia Dawgs and over Twitch this weekend.
Yeah, Twitch and then SEC After Dark Twitter. And Bleav In Dawgs Twitter as well is carrying the live stream. So if you're seeing this, be a friend, tell a friend. So yeah, Vandy, man, their schedule. Poor Jeb, man.
Yeah.
I know. Man, it's gonna crush him.
Gonna be brutal. Over under 25 years for Mississippi State's Bama loss streak with the that's gonna
Yeah.
They've only won 18 games since I know there's a couple years we didn't play them, but they've only won 18 games since 1896 when the game started. That is wild.
Collie Hog just mentioned something that we need to talk about probably.
Rocky Top and Boomer Sooner every 2 seconds. And it's going to be in Norman too. So Josh Heupel having the homecoming there.
Jackson Arnold scrambles out. That's a 3-yard gain. So
does this mean now that
the
dueling songs? Oh God, does this mean we got we're going to get the Oklahoma Sooners? Was that Booster Club back?
No,
listening to us again?
Potentially.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, we're expanding our reach because we wanted to get back to the point where we'd grown it earlier to a certain level, and we wanted to get it back to that level before football season because we think
that's why we're doing all these shorts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Steve is leading the pack in views.
Yeah,
so far,
I do the morning walk anyway on my Locked On channel. So what's doing another 60 seconds?
Apparently, I'm turning mine into a daily commute. So,
yeah, so you can do a daily commute. We need Jake to do something.
Yeah, well, I did one, but I put it on the wrong channel. Yeah, I was like,
Jake is not a technology.
No,
and Jeb is apparently in a place where he's staying in a storm shelter and his internet's not good because he was going to be on tonight.
But in a bunker or something like a.
I mean, he's in Alabama, so
he's swimming with the dolphins right now. So it's kind of hard.
I was subscribed if old Rev gives me a suey.
I'll give you a suey.
Woo pig suey, something like that.
There you go.
So Collie, okay. Subscribe to Bleav In Georgia Dawgs too. I got a story about the my very first SEC championship game that I attended back in 2002. Unfortunately, it's not a good one for you, but it was a lot of fun. And I had never heard a live Woo Pig Suey until I come down to the MARTA station, and all I hear is Woo Pig Suey. Woo! There was all 5,000 people that were at the game were in the MARTA station at the same time doing Woo Pig. I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I went to an Arkansas game. It was probably, I can't remember when Ole Miss played up there. It was either in 2006 or 2007. And you look at it, there's two really cool things that I remember for that game. First of all, they have a hog gate or had a hog gate at one end of the field, and the hogs had to be called 3 times. And on the third time, the players ran out. And I thought that was really cool. And also, I like the William Tell overture thing that they do.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I know Israel's got some stories because he played at Arkansas in one of his games during his time at Georgia. If you listen to our show, he's always had some complimentary things to say about Arkansas and that environment. If you ask Israel, his least favorite environment is South Carolina. Actually, that was his least favorite road game. And he played at Oklahoma State. He played at Tennessee, at Auburn. Played at the Liberty Bowl against UCF. That was not a good one. He's played at some pretty hostile places. He said South Carolina is definitely his least favorite and probably the most hostile in his opinion, which was interesting.
He obviously never played a road game at Mississippi State where your ears buzz for 6 days after done.
He played at LSU too, mind you. Played at LSU.
I love Tiger Stadium. I've been down there 3 or 4 times. It's my favorite venue to watch a college football game in.
Yeah.
And that includes Vaughn Hemingway Stadium. I love going to Tiger Stadium.
Yeah. Now, Collie, I do want to travel to Austin. I coach football, little known fact. So I don't know if that trip will be feasible for me. If I can, I will, or I want to. But like I said, it'll be during the season for us, and the turnaround time just will be too quick.
The SEC Network just put up the Mississippi State road schedule. Good gosh.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh. At Georgia, at Ole Miss, at Tennessee, at Texas.
Whew. Jeez.
What's that? What's the coach, the legendary soccer coach? I think he used to coach the Spanish national team. He's always the meme for the oof. You know
is that like Luis Scolari maybe?
Something like that. But you always see him, he's like,
yeah.
Yeah. That is, I love that meme.
And it's like super inside, and it says oof size large. It's like faded in the background. It's I love that gift, dude. It's hilarious.
That is so good.
This is what my opinion is, and this is what I think happened. And I have not heard anything, but this is just me guessing in my opinion. Okay. So I wanted to put that disclaimer out there. I think Mississippi State was the loudest proponent of 8 games and cost the conference its 3-6-6 model, which they wanted to go to. They absolutely did. And they started to yell enough to where people started to listen and made it to where the 3-6-6 was not going to pass the first time. Because of that, the SEC is actually punishing Mississippi State.
That's a good point.
The 3-6-6 mafia.
Yeah.
Now,
remember,
Mississippi State's the one that the athletic director had to apologize because they lost a kickoff game to Oklahoma State. And he promised he would never do it again. And they haven't. That's the worst part.
Dang Cowboys. My niece is going to Mississippi State. She starts there next year. She'll be a freshman. But yeah. So guys, it's magazine season, right? And that could only mean one thing. There's already betting lines out there for week 0 games. We are also presented by betonline.ag, where you can find all the latest sports odds. If you bet, I bet a couple of futures and they won. And obviously I didn't bet the house on these futures, but I did win a little bit of cheese. I bet the Vegas Golden Knights in the NHL and the Denver Nuggets in the NBA to win their respective championships. And they did. They came through for me. I used betonline.ag. I got all the live bets, props, everything that you could imagine. betonline.ag has it. They also have casino games. So if you like playing blackjack like me, or 3-card Caribbean stud poker like Mr. Commodore down there, they have that as well. Now, I say that because that's probably the weirdest casino game you could imagine. It's just a weird game. But if you play it, more power to you. If you can explain it to me, you got my respect. So, but if you want to, head on to betonline.ag on your mobile device or your desktop. You can visit the website, and you could enter the promo code Bleav, that's BLEAV, for a 50% welcome bonus. So you get on top of your first deposit. That's half of your deposit added on top. That's amazing. All you got to do is enter that promo code Bleav, BLEAV, to do so. BetOnline.ag. It's where the game starts, guys. It's magazine season. I've got to go out and get my magazine, get my Athlon, my Phil Steele, all of that. They've gotten expensive, yeah, Mike. They have. I have to choose one. But since I do the Illegal Motion College Football podcast, which with Matt's success with Bleav In Badgers, I don't know if that one's going to come back. But we do season previews in that one as well. I may just use that as to do shorts on different teams, random teams here and there. But yeah, it's magazine season, which means we answer all of the questions that don't ever get answered during the season, and we get to find some things out. So, Steve, you talked about storylines. I want to. Here's one that's probably not in the magazine yet, or ever, but I want to dive into this storyline. Now, this is obviously probably not, like I said, not magazine related, but I was going to do a short on this. I still may do a short on this, but I think the 9th game of the year should be picked up by Bravo, and it should be one game. Actually, no, Bravo should carry the entire Texas A&M schedule.
Bravo.
Because it might be better than the Real Housewives. Because
anything's better than that.
This will definitely be Jimbo and Bobby Petrino. Are you kidding me? Those two. I can't say what I really want to say because we're presented by DeadSoxy. They probably wouldn't like that, but that, my God, dude, like those are two of the biggest egos in college football.
Mm-hmm.
And one tried to sabotage everywhere he's been.
Yep.
And he's had the cowardly exit.
It's going to be like this all season with him.
Yeah. Like people that think Jimbo's just going to be like, oh, well, all right, man. I'm going to let Bobby Petrino call some ball plays. You're out of your mind.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Jimbo and Bravo would be a funny sight. Because what Bravo does, like they try to like mingle their shows. This is another one of those like you've been married for 10 years things, like you start to learn about things like Bravo. But like Jimbo's going to be on a yacht on below deck. Then he's gonna appear on all these shows. It's gonna be funny. That's a good idea too. Jot that one down. Chauncey, send that on to the execs at Bravo.
Yeah. Chauncey said that Keith doesn't want 9 games either. That's not entirely true. I just think there's some boosters that don't want 9 games.
Mm-hmm.
That is kind of pressuring Keith a little bit because Keith made a point not to make a stance, especially not like Mississippi State did. And Missouri's big on a 9-game schedule because they won it. They've been doing it forever. It's not that big of a deal to them. Whenever they came from the Big 12 over to the SEC, it was a 9-game schedule.
It's just what they were used to. I don't think Missouri cares.
To.
Yeah, I think they're just like, just freaking bring it on. We're gonna get our.
I'm fired up that Missouri and Oklahoma's coming back. Everybody's going to talk about Texas and Texas A&M. I'm happy that an old Big 8 game is coming back.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Absolutely, I love that. But let's talk some storylines. We Jimbo and Bobby Petrino's must-see TV for reasons outside of football. But the reasons inside of football, I think one of the biggest ones we have to look at is Spencer Rattler. You know, he comes in, makes a really nice end of the season. I mean, he's probably one of the most inconsistent quarterbacks I've ever seen. If you look at the first half of the season, the dude, you didn't know series to series whether he was going to throw a really bad interception or like a SportsCenter top 10 worthy dime. Then something clicked and he had a tremendous run. And that South Carolina game was like the cherry on top for him. Mm-hmm. Is he going to be consistent again? Like South Carolina's season depends on whether or not they get consistent play out of him. They lost a couple things in the transfer portal, but like to me, Spencer Rattler's obviously the big key to this cog as far as South Carolina guys. What do you guys think on that?
I think the story in this conference total is the inconsistency of quarterbacks. You got the same story that you said for Spencer Rattler. You can use for Joe Milton. You can use for Jaden Daniels. You could use for Jackson Dart. And whoever turns the corner and makes the plays and does the things that are relevant that they need to do, that's the team that's going to be successful this year. If South Carolina wants to move from a 7 or 8 win team to a 9 or a 10 win game, it means Spencer Rattler has to take the next step.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if he is going to be able to do that. I just don't trust him. Although, like I said, against Tennessee and against Clemson, he was amazing. He was that Heisman type quarterback that we were told about when he was in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And if he can make that go, South Carolina is going to be tough to deal with. Not Georgia, tough to deal with, but tough to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Milton, he can throw an orange 100 yards, but apparently can only throw a football 80 yards, And Jaden Daniels, I looked at his zones, like his depth on PFS advanced stats, and inside the hashes, he is a top shelf all SEC quarterback. Outside the numbers, he's just okay. And I think that's probably going to be the story, as you're going to see SEC teams against Jaden Daniels clog up the middle and force him to go to the outside and deal with those super athlete cornerbacks.
That's what Ole Miss needs, is somebody to hit the middle. So Jaden Daniels, maybe you need to transfer to Ole Miss.
Seriously, Jackson Dart needs to get right with that.
I think you hit the nail right on the head. It's just going to be, what team's going to challenge that. I think Ole Miss is. I said this last year and got kind of burnt, but they're and I got burnt because Lane Kiffin started flirting with Auburn and kind of screwed a whole bunch of things up. But
sabotage.
Yeah, they're a scary team, dude. They're a very, very scary team. I mean, if Michael Trigg figures it out, we had this debate last week, but if Michael Trigg figures it out, I think Quinshon Judkins is, easily top 2 running back in the conference. Jackson Dart, if he figures it out, I think if he gets Trigg back, he will find the middle of the field, all jokes aside. The defense should play more. The coordinator fits their style, I think. Durkin was an absolute joke. That I didn't understand that one. And then last year just was that I like these. I like the scheme idea of having the 3 high safeties and but it just doesn't work in this league. We found that out. It's okay. It just wasn't a good fit. And Lane Kiffin knew that, and he moved on.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Vanderbilt was the team that found him out.
Yeah.
I kind of enjoy that. It's good for Clark Lee. He was the one that figured that out.
Yeah. He's a good coach, man. He's a good coach. I'm glad he showed a little bit of emotion and was not a robot in year 2. That was good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But AJ Swan, I'm digging him.
Oh, real quick before you go, in the Phil Steele magazine, this is what Corey was said about Ole Miss being scary. You have a top 10 offensive unit. 3 out of the 4 offensive units are in the top 10 nationally. The 4th unit, which is the wide receivers, is at number 19 nationally. This is a team that has a chance to be unbelievably explosive and special offensively this year.
There you go. Chauncey said Steve's videos get him so hype. That's why.
If you're looking for injuries, an injury to Caden Priestcorn would be something you need to pay attention to, and obviously Quinshon Judkins. Those are the 2 indispensable players. Honestly, with Spencer Sanders and Walker Howard, Jackson Dart isn't among those 2 at this point.
All righty. Heck yeah. So Jake, what's some magazine stories you got for us, man? What are you thinking?
Being a homer here, but obviously
Homer.
for Alabama, Alabama quarterback situation, that's a magazine story because, our season, I'm not going to say our season relies on who the quarterback's going to be because the way we're going to I think we're going to be running the ball a lot more than what we have.
You still need a quarterback.
Yeah, but like I said, if the quarterback can just make the plays when needed and the wide receivers make the plays when needed, we run the ball most of the time and we get offensive line that can block and make holes for the running back, we're going to be okay. But yeah, and then like you said, Corey, the Jimbo and Bobby Petrino situation, that's a magazine story. Spencer Rattler, should be. Maybe Florida, does Billy Napier make that next step? And I just don't see how he does it.
With that roster, I don't see it.
I don't either. it just shows you how bad of a that Dan Mullen put that team in, recruiting wise and stuff, because he liked to come in as Darth Vader instead of recruiting and all that. So Billy Napier's got his hands full for sure.
Right.
Yeah. So that story, I made a short about this for my Bleav In Georgia Dawgs channel. His name is Chauncey Bowens, 4-star running back out of Palm Beach, Florida. A huge get, literally and figuratively. He reminds me of his current comp on Georgia's current roster is Branson Robinson.
That's not bad.
It's not.
Because Branson's a dude.
Branson's a dude. This dude's a dude. He is a, pun intended, he's a dog.
No.
But yeah, no, he's gonna be a really good one. That I know that one stings Florida really bad, and they can't, like, that kid would have made a difference in Florida.
Mhm.
But I mean, realistically, he would have made a difference anywhere he went. So that's
Right.
It's not really saying a whole lot. But the fact that Georgia was like, hey, well, we're gonna have another 2 4-star duo at running back. Come on, and Bowens is like, yeah, my recruiting shut down. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm done. I'm good. I'm going to
Jake,
Georgia.
you got a question.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm going to say scheme wise, he's going to be a lot better than Bill Bryan. We'll at least have some type of offense this year, because Bill Bryan had no O whatsoever.
Mhm. Yep.
Yes. So what's going to be funny, what's going to absolutely, this is going to, I don't know if it'll get in your head, Jake, but when people watch Patriots games and realize that the Patriots are going to move the ball and score points with Bill is going to get his O back in New England. That's where he left it.
Overstock.com.
Yeah. So what people are going to realize, they're going to really see, Alabama fans are going to see this firsthand, the vast differences in an NFL scheme and a college scheme.
Right.
And what you need to do at each level, because it's a totally different ballgame in the NFL. And they're going to see that. They're going to be like, wait, why couldn't he do that at Bama? Well, it's a completely different game. The hashes are wider. So you're playing more field boundary in college versus the NFL, where everything's kind of still, still in the middle mostly. Like, you don't have a system per se. You have a bunch of concepts that it's all matchup based in the NFL, and in college it's not mostly. Because you have more time that you can like move. It's more complicated, and you're going to see like Bill O'Brien's going to actually do well in New England, so be ready for that.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Corey.
Yeah.
Nice.
Keep him a mother-in-law's dog.
Oh,
I think some.
Which one of the things that's absolutely hilarious, by the way, is the fact that the IRS had to come out and say that, hey, you can't take a tax deduction on a donation to a collective. It's not a deductible expense, and everybody that's like, duh, but they were telling people trying to raise money. It's so hilarious.
No, I don't. Chauncey, I don't think Reese is a rehab guy, because he's a good-minded offense coordinator, and with the world of talent he's going to have at Alabama compared to Notre Dame, I think he's going to do really well, at being the offense coordinator at Alabama. So, we're
going to find out real quick.
Yeah, we're going to find out real quick, and I mean, he has good 2 to 3 years in him at Alabama. He may get a top 5 or a top 5 coaching job. So who knows? Yeah,
I don't think he's a rehab guy, but I don't know that he's a top mind to change the trajectory guy. I think he's somewhere in between. I think he has potential.
Yeah.
Saban is trying to find his Todd Monken, his version of Todd Monken, because Kirby showed that he could do that. He didn't need to change it all.
Mm-hmm. Well, apparently Monken's killing it in Baltimore too. So,
well, he's already gotten an NFL job before. He's obviously a good football coach.
Mm-hmm.
But his last NFL job, his last 2 coordinator stops were in Cleveland, where he was coordinator by title only, because that was Freddie Kitchens' Good Lord. I can't with this dog.
It's like yippee dog, yippee dog, yippee
Good
dog.
Lord, this dog has barked more in the last 3 minutes than it has in its entire life. Oh my God.
I hope your son isn't like asleep already.
Well, if he was, he's not anymore.
Not now. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Little surprise for Corey there.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
boy.
I do want to take this opportunity to let
I
everybody
don't even know where I was going with that, but
Yeah. We're getting ready to add some stuff to the channel. You're going to see
Yes.
after this weekend, we'll have the spoiler review of the Flash movie, me and Bill Couch. We have a Twilight Zone show from the original Rod Serling Twilight Zone where somebody does a rewatch of them and breaks it down. We've got 1923. We're going to start reviewing that maybe next weekend. The first
dog's name
episode
is
of that.
Sassy, by the way, just so you know.
Nice.
Sassy. There you go.
Yeah.
And Jeb, whenever he gets back, he's going to do a show called If You've Lost the Plot, where he talks about 80s movies and how freaking ridiculous they are whenever they're trying to do what they're doing. Like, think
if-
back to school.
And the
Revision
banner
of nerds.
and the banner for it, if you kept it, Steven, the way you showed us is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's stay with that. Also,
Yeah.
listeners, if you can get Bleav in Georgia Dawgs to 1,000 subscribers, I will take impression requests and do a series of YouTube shorts in the voices of different people.
There you go.
Yeah,
or
it's
attempt
it's 500 now. You don't need 1,000. You need 500.
to get monetized.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice.
Yeah, they changed that last week.
Oh, well, give me to 500. I'm only like 100 and some change away
Yeah.
from that. So give me to
So,
500.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Subscribe to that one. If you haven't subscribed to the Locked On Ole Miss podcast, subscribe to it. Subscribe to Type Talk Live.
Mhm.
What else is out there that we need to?
My first headline will be in Kermit the Frog if you can get me to 500.
We're your Twitch. We're on Twitch now, Steven.
Yeah, we are on Twitch. Yeah, you can follow on Twitch.
We're on Twitch, I believe so. You know, this is the greatest channel of all channels, of any channel that's ever been assembled.
Dude,
You should subscribe. Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
dude, that's man.
No, Becky. No.
Oh man,
No. Nobody wants that.
the voice of God. Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Yes. Okay. All right. I'll practice, Becky. Although I've been practicing Steve's impression since 2008, so I might almost have it down. So
I'm gonna start talking like this.
I was on my Locked On thing, and we were doing the after show thing tonight and talking. Is like, we have a Twitter handle that's called Locked On Host Out of Context, where you can just like click a random thing. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I have no sense of humor. So, I mean, how would I even know if I said something funny? And they really apparently thought that was funny, but I was actually being serious. So maybe I'm unintentionally funny.
sometimes that's the best funny.
A dry sense of humor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very dry. Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, a lot of stuff could happen on this channel. It's going to grow. Like I said, we're going to add Ty Talk Live to the Ustream destinations next weekend.
And we also have a new segment that you've probably seen, but
Hot takes.
yeah. So we're going to do some of these too. Like these are shorter segments that could be solo acts, all that kind of stuff. It looks completely. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, hello.
So this is what it would look like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
We have that. And by the way, we'll give you guys want a sneak peek? We'll give you a sneak peek. Let's see.
here's a sneak peek there.
That's cool.
Twilight Zone show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Oh my God.
I love it. I love it.
Oh my
Has Jeb
God.
seen that yet? I'm sure he has. but
Yeah, I texted him to him. So
I love it.
I think I'm okay with putting it on there.
That is so freaking perfect, dude.
That is awesome.
So we're going to have a good time. And our brand, if you're looking for a brand of SEC After Dark, it is Off the Rails. And
Sure.
so if you listen to the show for any period of time, you know exactly how off the rails we can get.
Yeah.
And once football season gets here to where we can actually make fun of people for doing stupid things on Saturday, it's going to get even more off the rails. So
yeah, our hot take segments are going to be funny. Our off-season content's going to soar through the roof because we're going to do movie reviews, show reviews, things like that. I've caught up on Jack Ryan, so I might do a hot takes on the season so far of Jack Ryan. I'm going to start 1923, obviously, and I'm going to start Burn Notice.
Yeah.
I'm in the second season of Burn Notice because we were messing with Corey, so I started watching it again. I love
good.
Burn Notice.
Where can I find it? Where is
it is on Hulu.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I won't be watching Burn Notice. Okay, so I'll try to find a way to watch Burn Notice. But yeah,
and another thing I might do a rewatch on. If anybody has watched Jane the Virgin,
no,
love Jane the Virgin. I will literally watch that. It's one of my favorite shows ever. So I could just sit there and talk about episodes of Jane the Virgin and how much I hate Michael.
And Jake, where are you at on Entourage?
I've never watched it, honestly. So
okay, you need to watch it.
Entourage, okay.
Yes, all of this, Chauncey, will be on this thumbnail and name channel. If you go to this, where you catch this on YouTube, all this other stuff will be available. We're going to set different playlists up, and the page is going to grow. As if you might have noticed, it's been cleaned up quite a bit, anticipating that growth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like I said, get me to 500, and I will do shorts all the time in different voices.
One thing is Bill Couch is a stand-up comedian, by the way.
Oh, that's gonna be great.
And our idea for shorts with him is like a 60-second stand-up bit. So we'll see exactly what he does.
Ooh, I could try some of my material there, guy.
That's what it's for, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, let's get some ideas. I may never cover any sport on my shorts.
Yeah.
Steve, you talked about talking about some funny stuff that happens on Saturdays. We could start doing a segment, kind of like what they do on I think it's NFL, where they do Come On Man, where they have some funny bits on it. Pretty
yeah, Game Day does. You had one job. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, come on, man.
Come on, man.
We need to figure out a short that we can do for a segment for us about SEC football.
Yeah. Yep.
Like SEC Nation does y'all.
They took our catchphrase.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh.
It's like bruh.
Bruh.
Yeah.
You capping.
Come
No,
on.
just say, hey, you cap or no cap. We need to get some facetious use of Gen Z vocabulary.
Dude.
No,
Bruh.
that's 2 generations behind me. I ain't got time for that.
You gotta learn a lot of things.
Steve is in D-Generation X.
Yeah. Hey.
I'm mid-Generation X. I'm not just Generation X. I am mid-Generation X.
I'm in that weird in between of Gen X and Millennial.
I'm in millennial, full blown millennial.
Sorry.
I was born in 1983, so I don't know where that. I think that puts me as a Xennial or something like that.
A Xennial.
A Weenial. That's you, Jake.
Yeah.
Hey,
You're in the Weenials.
I think I was born the same year that the Bad News Bears came out.
1924.
For realsies.
Yeah.
We say a fact like, yeah, Jimbo has 9,000. Jimbo has a what should be in a binder in his hands, but it's like you know how this could be one of our like, bruh.
Yeah.
Jimbo Fisher's play sheet is like when you try to put your stuff into a binder and it goes haywire in your hands and you don't really feel like putting it back together.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to just do a bit that every week, whenever they put the camera on, and with Jimbo Fisher, we just do like the Cheesecake Factory and just like people looking at the menu and then Jimbo trying to fiddle through to find a play.
He has dividers, folders, and a legal pad.
Yeah. Becky says, how about for realsies?
That's why I dropped the for realsies.
It's like
because
Joe Milton threw 7 incomplete passes in a row inside the 20-yard line for realsies.
For realsies?
Joe Milton went full. What the hell is that name of the movie? They've remade it. It was really good with Burt Reynolds.
Longest yard?
Yeah. God, why did I blank out on that? So Joe Milton goes full longest yard on the referee 7 times in a row, but he wasn't aiming for the referee. He was aiming for the back pylon.
Yeah.
Joe Milton, the most likely player to do a Jonathan Moxon and hit somebody in the nose on the sideline.
Yeah.
For realsies?
Yeah.
For realsies?
Joe Milton throws the ball so hard he's likely to hit himself he's likely to break his own nose when he spikes the football after grounding it.
For realsies?
Or maybe like a what if I told you type thing, What if I told you Anthony Richardson was going to be the 3rd pick in the NFL draft?
For realsies?
For realsies?
For realsies?
Yeah.
That follow-up question. Does that GM still have a job?
I think it was like 5th, but it's still 4th. Yeah.
Fourth.
So yeah, still
top 4. It's top 4 pick.
Anthony, yeah.
Top
Who lost to Vandy, by the way?
Top.
Also, I do want to say thoughts and prayers go out to Mississippi State football for their road schedule in 2024. If I had not said that, good grief.
I think this is the 3rd time.
Yeah, good grief.
For realsies? Yeah.
Oh,
I would have loved to see a
disgusting.
Nico Arch Manning battle in 2024.
Yeah. When you look at Mississippi State's road schedule, it's like a snuff film.
Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah. I mean, in Alabama, they should realize, Alabama was involved in the 8-game thing too.
Mm-hmm.
So Alabama and Mississippi State, I am getting on board with this. They got punished.
Mm-hmm. Probably so.
Mm-hmm. The SEC office pulled a Ron DeSantis versus Disney.
You're right about that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an Allen Ranch, Corey?
Yep.
There you go.
I need to mount another camera that points down at my hands and because if you see all the random shit, all the random stuff that's out on my desk right now.
Man, we made it an hour of the clean rating.
I know.
Yeah. Come on, Corey.
I stopped myself before the T, so it's still clean, sort of.
Now
so
it's like LaBeouf.
Clippers, Post-it notes. I was rolling some coins earlier. Coins. That's coin. Those are pennies.
I've got fingernail clippers.
Well, does he want them back?
Oh, Corey. Yep.
Because they're pennies.
Yep. Got mine.
Y'all all have Xboxes?
Yeah.
I've got Xbox 360, Xbox, PS3,
I got an
PS4.
Xbox X.
I got the Xbox One.
That's what I got.
I got for my birthday, my uncle got me the 2022 game, MLB The Show.
It's good.
Oh.
I got it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game.
It is.
I hate to know how good the graphics are on the X series as opposed to the Xbox One, because it was an Xbox One version because he thought that was the system I had.
Oh man.
Hey, also, another shameless plug. I have got 6 images on Shutterstock. 6 stock images. If you want to download those and use them for something, go to Shutterstock / Corey plus Burton.
Is this like Jeb Googling like Georgia all whites?
It is not.
Shutterstock.
No, Shutterstock is actual, it's a catalog of stock images, footage. So if I wanted to get some random B-roll, I could go to Shutterstock, download it. Or if you wanted to get a random shot of a creek, a scenic look at a creek, maybe you're doing an ad for a hiking trail.
Who's in the swimsuit, Becky? Who are you talking about?
Are you in a swimsuit? What?
Yeah, what? Maybe some fireman pants.
What?
Voice of God is like she needs to go to bed,
Okay,
Steve.
yeah, Becky needs to go to sleep. We probably need to get out of here.
Did she wander into the wrong
Yeah,
chat?
Becky,
Yeah.
she's Googling weird stuff.
Corey,
Oh,
his
his
pics.
pics.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, I'm in a Speedo.
Oh gosh.
Download that one.
Oh. No thanks.
Okay, before we get out of here, I'm going to tell you this real story. And this is back whenever you could do stuff like this, because right now in the Navy, they would probably kill you for it. Becky was stationed at the Naval Media Center in Washington, D.C. in the early 2000s. I mean, literally like turn of the century, early 2000s. Sorry, babe, about the age. But they somebody won a radio contest with whoever was on a local radio station. I think his name was Guido in a Speedo.
Oh wow.
And if you won that, he came to your workplace and started, rubbing up on everybody wearing a Speedo. This is a Navy installation that this is going on in. So he comes to do his thing. Some really uptight managerial person comes to shut it down, and they all have to deal with the fact that there's this dude in a Speedo completely making a mockery of their professional work environment. Am I pretty close, Becky, to that one?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe not. Anyway,
Maybe she already went to bed.
Yeah, before we get out of here, this channel is expanding. Other stuff's coming on. Please tune in next week for what we're doing, what's going on. We're going to talk about SEC After Dark. This is the most boring month in college athletics, starting right now until SEC Media Days in the year. So we're going to have 4 shows where we make the best of it. So just understand that we're going to be off the rails for an hour for 4 weeks. Just expect it. Thank God for
that's our brand.
Off the rails, baby.
Yeah, thank you for the schedule release, because we actually got to talk football a little bit now.
There we go.
And magazine season, we'll come at you with some hot takes and some shorts on some smaller things, football
Becky
related.
said Gunny Sergeant ran him off. The Guido and the Speedo. It was a Marine that ran him off.
Do not come at anybody with shorts on, Corey, after what we just heard about you in a Speedo.
Oh, Speedo. I don't have the I don't have the nerve to wear a Speedo. I can't do it. All seriousness.
And before we get out of here, we do want to say congratulations to Dari Noka and Dusty Dvorak and all the Oklahoma players that have been waiting for their moment to shine tonight, where Oklahoma was in the conference and they actually got to turn that on a little bit. So
that's right.
Congratulations to them. I wish Paul Feinbaum was not on TV anymore, but it is what it is.
Well, next time you go to Disney, see if you can get a song.
Yeah, his slot. SEC Network. Let's do it.
They're in Charlotte.
I'll even take the 10 p.m. slot.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too.
I think they should do SEC After Dark, and we can start the football game at 9:00 at night. Boom. We just created a whole new slot that SEC football can be broadcast in, and it can be announced by us.
We will compete.
You can have us all for $50,000 a year each.
Yeah.
Yeah. Each.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we'll take the weekly. We'll take the weekly game. We're going to go up against the Hawaii game every week.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take it.
Mm-hmm. And we don't even care. It can be Vanderbilt versus Missouri. It can be Vanderbilt versus whatever. It could be the worst game of the weekend. We will honestly, we would blow it out of the water, and our people would go absolutely nuts. Just as
I
what
agree.
it is.
100%.
Anyway,
heck of a selling job, Steve.
Yes.
There you go.
Corey, get us out of here.
All right. I'll get you out of here. Just flash a picture of me in it. No, just kidding. So that'll get everybody scattering. No, but we are SEC after. Oh shit! I can't do it.
We are SEC After Dark.
Yeah, we are SEC After Dark. Yeah. Presented by DeadSoxy. Yeah, presented by DeadSoxy. We'll see you back here next week, and we'll see you back here throughout the. Actually, we'll see you throughout the week and the weekend with all the extra content that we are producing in such short order. But for Stephen Willis, I'm Corey Burton. That is Jake Thomas there. And Mr. Commodore. We are SEC After Dark. We will see you back here next week, officially, the four of us, and we'll be back better than ever. So long. See you later. And you know the drill. Go Dogs. Bye.
Toddy.
Roll Tide.